is Kenzy Knoxx and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be learning how to paint a sunset over the ocean for beginners and medium level painters. This is an acrylic painting tutorial by Stewart Paintings, and this should be somewhat interesting, definitely informative, and hopefully will give us a great painting at the end. To begin off with, I'm working on an 11 by 14 mixed media paper that's been primed with one layer of gesso, as well as primed with one layer of burnt sienna paint. This is a very loose layer, so very thin layer, watered down paint. I don't want a thick layer of paint because this is just our background color. I typically don't start with burnt sienna for a background color, just because it's kind of bland or whatever, not really pleasing to the eye, but as a technical aspect of it, you can draw over it with chalk fairly easily. So if you're going for more like structured paintings and you need markings and designated spots or whatnot, or just to draw out your painting before you paint it, which I typically do not do, you can use this burnt sienna background as a fantastic basically chalkboard for your painting and a prepping canvas. It also allows you to see if you've missed areas of your painting, as well as sets a mid-tone for your painting too. So there's many different reasons to use burnt sienna. You don't have to, you can start off with white if you'd like, but since the painting tutorial I'm following start off with burnt sienna, I thought I would too. As for the colors we'll be using for this painting, I will be going over them as we use them. Typically it consists of cobalt blue, titanium white, some yellow, some orange, and perhaps some raw umber or some black. As for the painting itself, we're going to actually use chalk today. This is something I don't typically use, but when in Rome, right? So there's going to be 3 parts to our canvas. So 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. The bottom third of our canvas is going to be our water. The sun is going to be basically between the 1/3 point and the 2/3 point, and in the center. And then our, oops, sorry, I want to go a little lower than that. That's the fantastic thing about chalk. You can wipe it off and it comes off with the paint too. So our sun's going to be here. Our sunset skyline, I guess you could say, is going to be a big circle like this. And then we're gonna have our clouds up here, clouds over here. And then our sunbeam will come down right here like we typically do. And we'll want to create our waves, basically, I believe, going outwards. I'm just gonna put those on there since he drew them on there. We're also going to have different levels of paint. So our painting will have different gradients. There will be a gradient that starts from here to here, and then here to here, and then finally here to here. So 3 different gradients on the top and 2 gradients on the bottom. And by gradients, I mean 2 colors that will have to gradiate into each other. Okay, so let's start painting. To begin off with, we're gonna take our size 8 or 4 filbert brush, get that wet, tap off the drips, tap into your titanium white, and just fill in the sun. And then rinse off your brush, immediately dive into your yellow, and we're just going to go around the sun. We're just blocking in some colors. Just go around it. We're going to do multiple layers of this because acrylics are so streaky. Rinse off your brush, and then we're going to dip into a light blue shade. So, and it's light purpley blue periwinkle shade, but more blue. And we're gonna paint in right above, oops, we're dripping. Scoop that on up. This will be covered, but. Oopsie daisies. You know what, I'm going to use my 1 inch or 3/4 inch flat brush to do this. So I got a 3/4 inch flat brush. I'm just going to block this in real quick. Then And continue above the halfway point, and then grab your deeper blue or cool blue shade. Blend that in. With your dirty brush. So we want it darker at the top. And blend that in right here. Nice transition. And you can rinse off your brush. Going back to my filbert brush, I'm gonna pick up some orange and come on under the sun. Let's keep like a little smiley face right there. And then we're just gonna pull it down. Just like that. So now we're gonna make even a lighter blue shade. So grab that flat brush. Going back to my flat brush, I'm gonna mix a lot of white with that blue. And we're just gonna block that in. Watch out for drips. Around that yellow. Okay, and then rinse off your brush. Grab some more of that light blue shade, and we're just gonna go back over this real quick. Get a second layer of coverage so we don't have any burnt sienna showing through. And then go up above the line, and immediately grab your cooler blue and go on top of it, and then blend it down. Grab more cool blue. Start bringing that up. And rinse out your brush. Mixing some yellow with some white and that light blue shade. You're gonna come up with like almost a yellow-green tone, but not green. And so we wanna come in on top of this blue, all the way across, and around the center, and all the way down. And then rinse out your brush. Back to my size 4 filbert brush. I'm gonna get that wet, tap into my yellow, and just paint around the sun. Gosh, I'm so drippy today. Up and around the sun and down where this orange area is. All the way over. In fact, we can just go over the sun. I'll just repaint that in white. I'm gonna do a quick coat again. I had to do several coats of this because it's so streaky. Adding some violet to your palette. Now we're gonna mix some orange with that violet to come up with a red shade. Very interesting combo. I didn't know that you could do that. And we're just gonna come in with that orangey red shade down here. I wonder if this is vermilion. This might be vermilion if you have vermilion. And we're just gonna paint this on here. Get more paint. Make sure you have enough water on your brush. Not too much water for drips. Oh, I already need some more color. Okay, keep adding more rouge to your color. So you're getting darker as you get away from the sun. Or cooler, I guess you could say. Adding more rouge to your color. That was a beautiful color. Now we're gonna mix some cerulean blue, a touch of black, some light blue violet, and a little bit of crimson. And you're gonna come up with this blue gray shade, or Prussian blue, I believe it's called. No, not Prussian blue, I'm sorry. I don't know what color this is called. So we're just gonna add this down here. Hope I didn't make enough. I'm just gonna grab some more of that violet shade. Try to blend that up into the color that we previously used, or you can add some of your old color to your brush. Blend that up like that. Adding some cadmium yellow to some white, we're going to come up with a light cad yellow shade, and we're going to go around the sun, which we're going to fill in with white afterwards. And then we can bring that down here. And rinse off your brush. Grab some white. Fill in your sun. Rinse off your brush. Mixing some cad yellow, some orange, and some white. You're gonna, and a little bit of the light violet blue shade, or light blueberry frost shade. We're gonna come up with like this orangey peachy color, and we're just gonna go ahead and paint under here, out. And up a little bit. Gonna get a little water on my brush. I'm in a very hot room today, and my paints seem to be too tacky or too liquidy. So acrylics dry a lot faster in the heat than they do in the cold or in a well air-conditioned room. So the room I'm in right now is just very hot. We're going to go all the way in to the center circle there, halfway up the sun. Mixing some of our previous color with some more of that violet purple and white, we're gonna come up with this, like, this is a really ugly shade, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I don't know what it's called or what it looks like. It's like a manila shade. I'm just gonna paint this up here. I'm just following what I'm told, you guys. I don't pick the colors. It's not a shade I would typically choose, to be honest. Okay, and then I'm just gonna mix these two together. Just kind of blending them in. And then don't forget up here. On that yellow circle. We're actually going to carry the, taking our brush, we're actually gonna carry this down to Out there. Below the sun. Grabbing some more. We're just gonna come down like that. Using my filbert brush, I'm gonna grab some yellow and just go around the sun. Just with yellow. Taking your violet and a lot of white, you're gonna mix that up to create a light lavender color, and then you're gonna grab some of that manila color and mix that in, and then we're just gonna start painting up here, trying to make a nice transition between the two colors. Taking your filbert brush, oh, I got paint on it, make sure it's clean. Tap into your yellow, and we're just gonna go over this area again. Not only brightening it, but trying to get rid of some of those streaks in it. Yellow is a very transparent color. Oops, I'm pulling off paint. So it's kind of hard. You have to add layers for yellow. Okay, so now we're going to make our cloud shade. And in order to do that, we need to mix some orange, red, violet, and that violet purple color. And you should come up with like a red, brown, like a brick red color. I'm going to take that and start into our clouds. So we're just going to draw in. You can draw them in wherever you want. I'm going to use my number 4 flat brush, and it's a very stiff bristled brush. It's not very flexible, and this actually helps create these scattered looking clouds. This is one brush that I found is useful for making clouds, I believe. And so we're just going to create some clouds right here. And you can just push and go straight. And these clouds are going to be pretty straight over here. And then I'm going to come in over here. Same thing, it's pretty straight, like that. Then I'm gonna come over here, just gonna come closer. I'm gonna be very light with my hand. Just kind of like get water up here, scumble it on your canvas if you'd like. And kind of get narrow as you come down this way. You can really do whatever you want. I would just go wider from the top. As you get closer to the center, just get more narrow. As if they're growing away from the sun. Little ones hanging off of it, leading off to other ones, and like a little one here. If you'd like, and over here. And maybe one down under here. Just be like a little drifter cloud, a little guy right here. Okay, another one over here. Something like that. Adding some violet and some Prussian blue, which is that cobalt or cerulean blue and black, to your color. You're gonna come with a very dark, almost blood-like color, and it's like a purpley, bloody color, and that's the next tone we're gonna use. And we're gonna be adding some shadows to the clouds. So just on, like, you can build off of them, as well as like on top. The farther away we get, the darker the clouds are gonna be. I might need more violet in there. The shade isn't dark enough. I want more violet. Save it over here. Okay, and then we're even going to build our own little clouds off of these. So maybe one over here. Starting it like this. Getting wider and wider. And I think this one's gonna come. Where it's coming from this one. Okay, and then we're going to create another shade. Adding some cerulean blue and some black to the previous shade, you should get a nice dark purpley gray shade, and that's going to be our next cloud shade. And so we're going to put this on top of some of these clouds up here, because we're getting farther away. This. Something like this over here. And even just adding some up here. So we can just add some of these. Maybe something like sunset. And this one trailing up this way. Creating some crazy guys up here in the sky. I'm going to come in here. There we go. I am gonna touch up some of these, so with that red, orange, some violet. Over here. Beef that one up a bit. And tighten that one in a bit. Mixing some red, cad yellow, and orange, and a touch of violet, we're going to come up with this orangey shade, and we're going to create dense clouds in here. So we're basically going to fill in under here. And almost there. And around this guy. Have it trailing like a cloud. And then on this side, I do the same thing. and just run little circles. And then we're going to draw some of these under here. Under this guy here. Got to highlight. The sun. Mixing some yellow and orange, a lot of yellow and a little bit of orange, you're going to come up with like a peachy shade that we're going to try to bridge this yellow and this orange together with. So we're just going to paint around the sun. Anywhere this light could possibly peek through. little bit over. That key shape. And rinse out your brush. Adding some more yellow to my brush. Go back into that center. And paint that again. Trying to blend out these two colors. My yellow. Mixing some cat yellow and white. I'm gonna go now and highlight some of these clouds. So going around them again and creating some highlights where the sun would just kiss these clouds. And I'm just pushing and basically pushing my brush flat to create these little lumps underneath the clouds. Pushing and pulling, or pushing down and pulling out, I guess you could say. And then we want to go on both sides of this cloud. As far as we can see, and then come back on this one. Even up on this guy, up in here. And here too. And over here. Very light touch. And then we're going to take some of that color down here too. Around this cloud. Around this cloud down here. And we can even draw in some extra clouds. Anywhere we feel like it. These are going to be far, far away clouds. They're pretty much going to be straight. Okay, then rinse out your brush. And now we get to start on the water. Taking a lot of yellow and a little bit of orange, we're going to create that creamy orange shade. And again, I'm using my size 4 flat brush. And we're just going to create little streaks in the water that are closer together the farther away it is. So the closer it gets to us, the wider these streaks will be from each other. So I'm going to start getting wider. 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 I'm just going over them because I'm not showing up that much. Just be careful if you're doing this. You don't want to create a single blob. Although you can fix it, it just be a time-consuming problem. Okay, so once you're happy with that, we can move on to the next step. Using red, orange, and yellow, I'm going to create a reddish orange vermilion color. And now we're going to create some waves. I'm going to start closer together. And get farther apart. Farther. Farther. And the same thing on this side. Closer together. Then I start getting wider. Wider and wider. Adding some crimson to that same batch of color. I'm now going to create some more lines over here. Close together. And start getting farther apart. Same thing on this side. It's okay if you can barely see it. It really pops through on the blue beneath, which is a really cool effect. Add some more of that same color, that reddish color. Out a little farther out here. I don't think you need to draw it up here, but just in case. Add over here. Just a little over here. gonna take that same color. We're just gonna go up here and etch the painting. Just down here. Same thing over here. Using just straight orange, I'm just gonna come in and here. Just add a little orange. It's almost like just highlighting some of the water. Orange. Orange. It's warmer. And then I'm going to take some yellow. And come down the center again. I'll take some more orange. Try to do this again. This again on this side. Have some more titanium white in the center. Trying to fix my sun right here. Okay, and then take a little bit of white on your brush. And we're just coming down the center. And take a little bit more of that blue that we used on for the outside. And then I'm going to bring some of this in here. Leaving spaces. To indicate shadows. Take it in here. I'm actually going to carry out that orange a little bit farther too. We're just going to opposite direction. Okay, I'm super happy with that. So at this point, we're done our painting. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube tutorial. I know I did. And if you like this tutorial, please remember to click the like button and to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.